Good evening, everyone that's here in the room, and good evening to all those other people that are out in La La Land in the YouTube world that are watching tonight. Yes, one of the things we're doing is producing our very own TV show out of the Duncan Showroom. It's kind of neat. Technology's brought us to this. We've done over 200, well, no, how many shows? Well, we've done for the last 2.5 years on YouTube, almost 3 years on YouTube. Garnered over 200,000 views so far. And the donations have been large too. People have actually, even though it's a free service, I think we've raised over $450 so far. Well, you know, that's not saying much for all those 200,000 people, is it? But anyway, it's not all about that. But it is giving you the opportunity to, matter of fact, I think there's a program out there that allows people who want to provide money to anybody who, you know, to help them continue their service, and a pledge-a-thon or something, Patreon. So we're going to try that and see how that works. But we're keeping on going on, and we're keeping on going on because I know a bunch of people in PEI that are watching right now. I know it's late. I'm sorry we're a little late starting. It's, you know, like it's after midnight out there. But nonetheless, if you're not watching tonight, I know you'll be watching tomorrow, and maybe the next day, and passing it around through everybody. That's what we do out here on the West Coast. That's the other coast. Had the opportunity to go to PEI a while ago in that Music PEI week. They took me down there, flew me in, treated me really royally, and I got to hear a lot of great music. But one of the things I noticed is that even the people who aren't in the music industry are all very good players. Like there's a ton of musicians. I think everybody on PEI plays some kind of instrument, and they all play it well. Some decide to go further on. Dylan was explaining to me that it's the winter, it's the snow. You got nothing else to do but pick up an instrument and just go at her. And because of that, there's a prolific number of musicians that come out of there, and some of them have stand out in their field, have some kind of an importance. You know, the ones that turn people's heads and go, hey, I like what they're doing. I like those songs. He's a songwriter. He's very good at what he does. His name is Dylan Menzie, and tonight we're going to be entertained by him. So please, from all the way from PEI, give this guy a warm welcome to the Duncan Showroom stage.
Thank you. Thanks, John. I'm going to start things off with a song that's just about loving music and feeling it so deep inside yourself that you know that innate feeling that you just want to tap your toe. It's kind of about that, but it's also a love song. But it's kind of an ironic song because you can't really tap your foot to it.
You walked in the room, and before I could move, I was struck still by the sight of you. And like never before, I heard the chords, I heard the music, but lost the words. And I couldn't breathe, in my heartbeat, pounding my chest like a timpani, lacking tales of you, oh forgotten love, like the beating of drums from some ancient war. Blinded by light off his shoes, his And I rose from my seat and fell into a dream. The sound of your voice like a symphony, and the way that you speak reads like poetry, and it hits like a train or a wave on the beach. And they'll lift you up when life is too much, and carry you home to all that you love. And I hope that's enough when that time should come to not be forgotten and left out to rust. Blinded by light off your shoes is how much you spend around the room. You don't have to dance on your own. I feel it deep in my bones. Blinded by light off your shoes is how much you spend around the room. You don't have to dance on your own. I feel it deep in my bones. Thank you. So the next song that I'm going to play is just a really short little song about being on the road, or not necessarily the road as you would think, like a musician being on the road, just like anybody searching for a friend. And the song is called "Searching for a Friend." And yeah, I've never actually gone to the desert. I've never walked through the desert before, and I've never walked through a jungle. But those are the two places that I'm writing about. So it's fictional. It's fictional. But that's okay. It's my song. I can do what I want. Talk about what I want to talk about. And I wrote this song when Trump got inaugurated, just like as it's not really a protest song, but it kind of is in one sense. It's about just how everybody just is looking for the same thing. Just want to feel like they belong. When I wandered through the desert, I had one thing on my mind, and I tried hard to forget it. But lately now I find that the darkness makes the light just a little more refined. But it sure as hell gets lonely when searching for a friend. I was lost inside a jungle, sifting through the leaves, when I came across a people living in the trees, and they gave me food and shelter.
mind, I'm going to swap guitars. Well, thank you so much for coming out, everybody. This is great. You never really know. This is my first time ever playing on Vancouver Island, and my first show this far west. This is the farthest west that I've ever gone. To have people in the room is just so amazing. Thank you. I've played shows to nobody before, and those aren't nearly as much fun. But when I was in school, I had a crush on a girl, as most straight men do. Or I guess I'm not a man. I wouldn't be a man at this point. I was a kid, and I had a crush on her from the time that I was in grade 3 or 4, whenever I started liking girls, until around grade 12. And I never told her that I had a crush on her. But I did write a song. And one day she came up to me when I was playing this song in a bar, and she said, after the show, and she said, "Oh my God, I just wanted to let you know, like, I really love that song, I Want to Know." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Because I wrote it about you." And she didn't say anything to me, and she walked away. But I got a nice little text message the next day. But, I'm over it. This is a song called I Want to Know.
Said I know, got a long road ahead, nowhere to go. I wanna fly with birds in the sky. Just give it to me straight, 'cause I wanna know when the stars come out at night. What happens to the sun? What happens to the light? I wanna know when I see you in the hall, where my face turns red. Why my face turns red like the leaves in the fall. I wanna sail across the 7 seas. I wanna know you if you wanna know me. I wanna ride 4,000 miles. Just take off your coat and stay a while. I wanna know when the stars come out at night. What happens to the sun? What happens to the light? I wanna know when I see you in the hall, where my face turns red like the leaves in the fall. Where my face turns red like the leaves in the fall. I want you to be mine. Counting the days till the stars all align. I wanna dive to a love so true. I want you, babe, if you want me to.
She didn't.
I wanna know when the stars come out at night. What happens to the sun? What happens to the light? I wanna know when I see you in the hall, where ocean's red like the leaves ever fall. Whoa, So I wrote my first dance banger, club banger, a little while ago. And this is kind of strange talk. But yeah, I wrote my first club banger, and it was a really cool experience because usually I don't have a great time when I'm doing. It was a co-write, and usually I don't really have a great time when I'm doing co-writes because I'm such a selfish writer. You know, if something kind of wavers from my original idea, I tend to dismiss it. But this time, it was the electronic artist that I was working with had the chord progression and the music pretty well finished by the time that I got there, and I just wrote the melody and the lyrics, which it was a great way to write for me because, like I said, I'm a really selfish writer, and I'd love to do more in that vein. Where somebody else writes the music or I write the music and vice versa. Just because it really worked well for me. I got to sit with it and figure out the story that I wanted to tell and how I wanted to tell it. And yeah, I really like it. This is about just falling in love and that feeling like you would just want to spend the rest of your life with this person. And so this is the love song. So if you're here with somebody, you can like hold their hand or put your arm around them, whatever kind of stuff you want to do. And if you're not that kind of couple, then you don't have to do that. And if you're here alone, I'm sorry. I'm just joking. But before I do, I'm going to go and grab some water. Is this real or my imagination? Are you running around here casting spells? Are you nothing but an apparition? You can trust me, no I won't tell. We could have secrets, just you and me. We could tell stories and live our fantasies. We could be different, living a dream. I could play king, babe, and you could be my queen. secrets, just you and me. We could tell stories and live out fantasies. And we could be different, live in a dream. I could play king, babe, and you could be my queen. So stay and listen to the heartless skeptic. There's no reason we can't fall in love. If you lead me to a life of magic, I can give you what you're dreaming of. And we're holed up in an ivory tower, making love and talking for hours, and find music in the constellations. I'm your muse and you're my inspiration. We could have secrets, just you and me. We could tell stories and live out fantasies. And we could be different, live in a dream. I could play king, babe, and you could be my queen. We could have secrets, just you and me. I could play king, babe, and you could be my queen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any Led Zeppelin fans in here? Couple? Yeah, there's always one. At least. There's always at least one. So are you guys from Duncan in here? One from Duncan? Two? No? Passing through town, or do you live around here, or what? Do you got a couch that we can crash on, or like... Yeah, no, I've always loved Led Zeppelin. And I really like their folkier stuff because I can sing their folkier stuff. I can't really sing the hard rock stuff because I don't have that crazy Robert Plant high falsetto that also sounds like he's just screaming into the microphone at the same time. But this is a song called That's the Way.
I don't know how I'm gonna tell you that I can't play with you no more. Don't know how I'm gonna do what Mama told me, my friend the boy next door. Why don't your eyes see me? Could it be you found in play. What did Mama say to me? That's the way, oh, that's the way it ought to be. Don't you know? Mama said, oh, Mama said that's the way it ought to stay. Yesterday I saw you standing by the river. And weren't those tears that filled your eyes? And all the fish that lay in dirty water dying, have they got your hypnotized? And yesterday I saw you kissing tiny flowers, but all that lives is born to die. So I say to you that nothing really matters, and all you do is stand and cry. Say about it when all your ears have turned away. It's time to look and look again at what you see. Is that the way it ought to stay? That's the way, that's the way it ought to be. Don't you know, Mama said, oh, Mama said that's the way it ought to stay. Thank you.
So, last Canada Day, I got a call from CBC in Ottawa, and they said, "Hey, we see that you're coming through town. Do you want to be a part of this show that we're putting together?" And it was broadcast live on Canada Day just to like celebrate, and it's a show called Collections. And what we want you to do is write a song inspired by an object from the Canadian Museum of History. And keep in mind, this was a week to Canada Day. So they said, pick 3 numbers between 1 and 255. And so I did. And then they sent me 3 articles that were talking about 3 objects in the Canadian Museum of History. And the first one was Nurse Mary Rutherford's nurse's bag from World War I. And I didn't really know how to write a song inspired. Welcome. Thank you for coming. And the second one was pliers used to defuse FLQ bombs. And again, I thought it was just going to be a really dark song if I wrote it about that. And the third one, and the one that I went with, was the scientific recreation of the body and face of Nuvo Miutek, the Arctic kayaker. And the story is that he's a man that they found, an Inuit man that they found buried off the coast of Baffin Island, and he was buried about 800 years ago, and they just found him in the 60s. And they found him with 24 ivory bird figurines, and an infant's body, and also, an infant skeleton, I guess. And then also this ivory bow drill that had all these images of his life depicted in it. So it was images of village life and of him hunting, and there was a couple of him having sex and doing it doggy style, and all these other images of his life story on there. And I thought, okay, there's so much to pull from here. Like, I can really work with this. But connecting to an 800-year-old Inuit man, and you have a week to do it, was really a challenge. But I thought about the baby, and I thought about how he must have been a family man, and so I pictured this scenario where he was going for a hunt, and he just wanted his family to know how much he loved them, and how he wanted to be remembered. So that's what this song is about, and it's called Ivory, and it went over pretty well on the show. And I was really nervous because there was all these famous people that were like Lights. I don't know if anybody knows who Lights is in here, but she's like a pop singer, and she's huge in Canada, and she was on it. And then Max Kierman from the Arkells, or is it Kierman? I don't know. Anyway, people from the Arkells were on it, and Lights, and all these other crazy people, and then it turned out that they were way too busy to write songs for the show anyway. So, anyway, I digress. I'm gonna play this song. This is Ivory.
birds retreating, and when morning comes and you fade from view, I swear, my love, I will return to you when I finally go. Promise me I wanna feel my home. History, cover me in stone. Let me sleep, leave me to be born. And ivory, when I finally go. Promise me I wanna feel my home. History, cover me in stone. Let me sleep, leave me to be born. Thank you so much. I think I have one more song, and then maybe I'll take a little break and come back for a second set, if that's cool with you. Everybody having a good time so far? Yeah. Great. Sorry? Did you say something? Oh, great. Yeah, we'll keep this open. We'll keep it like pretty. There's only a few of us in here, so if you have any questions or whatever, if you want to holler or something, just go for it. What am I gonna play? Okay. No, you know what? I'm gonna play a different one. See, I always do this. I always make my set lists up, and then I get to the song in the set, and it's like, you know what? I'm not really in the mood for that song right now. I'm gonna play something else. And then it screws my whole show up and it's so pointless because I spend so much time like in the car, like, oh yeah, well this one will go really well into this next song, and then this, anyway. And it's like, oh, the subject matter will really tie in really nicely, and these are all things that only I worry about. But now I just screwed it all up anyway. So yeah. So this is a song that I wrote about. Astrology, because I kept having these. Anybody read their horoscopes in here, or yeah, you do? Great. Yeah, they say 25% of people do, and I love astrology in the way that when you read it, sometimes I feel like it's calling to you because these are kind of things that have been in your subconscious or that you've been mulling over already, and it's speaking to you in a way that it's like, oh yeah, I really should take a look at that, or I should do this thing, or whatever. But to the song, I kept having this phrase come up: have faith, and I'm not really an overly religious person, so it felt a little wrong to write a song about having faith, and I thought, well, and it also is a story, and kind of like songs about faith are just kind of done to death. So I thought, how can I say this phrase? Because I tried a bunch of other stuff, like I'll run or whatever. I just kept coming back to this one phrase, have faith. And to me, that's usually a sign that I should probably just stick with what I keep coming back to and what feels good. So I decided, you know what? Nobody ever writes songs about astrology. Never. And that's what I did. And this is a song about just kind of believing in yourself. at your heart, you're a child of the earth. Found your place with the wisdom of the ancients. And saw your face in the constellations. Have faith in all that you are. Have faith in what's written in stars. Have faith in the comfort you find. Have faith in what's written in time. And if all of your friends start to let you down, have some faith in yourself, life will come around. Yeah, if all of your friends start to let you down, have some faith in yourself, life will come around. Have faith in all that you are. Have faith in what's written in stars. Have faith in the comfort you find. Have faith in what's written in time. Have some faith in yourself, a little faith in yourself. Have some faith in yourself, a little faith in yourself. Have some faith in yourself, a little faith in yourself. Have some faith in yourself, a little faith in yourself. Thank you. See you guys in a bit.
As we ready for the second set. Have you two seen one of these before? They're nose flutes. Nose flutes. You put it underneath your nose, and you open your mouth and you go. Hey? No one ever wants to borrow it. Really? And then there's. People still say it's snot music. Thank you for getting the snot music. Thank you very much. Thank you. They got that one. I like that. You ever seen a nose flute before? I grabbed one of these from the Folklore Center in Ottawa. Is when I first found one. Then I loved it so much I bought 10 more, and then I bought another 10. Then I bought 5,000 of them. And then another 1,000 over the years. And we give them away to a lot of musicians. I don't have any new ones to give you because, as I said, no one really wants to borrow them.
I'll take that one.
Oh, they are, yeah, they are dishwasher safe. Yay, there's an idea. I could be using that line. But anyway, they're a fun little thing. Helps you get through the day if you don't have an instrument. Wow, jeez. Well, you're going to Victoria. Maybe. Well, are you going south or when you leave tonight? Where are you going?
We are going to Victoria.
Oh, so you are going south out of here? Yep. Darn. Because they have them at the Red Balloon. I could have got you one.
Well, I'll find one.
Yeah, you do, because you'll have a lot of fun. Especially if you're driving somewhere. You two would just drive each other's nuts. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, because well, not only that, is name that tune. Because everyone starts thinking of all the TV stuff you played, so you start playing all the... Yeah, it's terrible. But hey, I want to say this publicly to everybody out there in La La Land. This guy has impressed the hell out of me tonight. Dylan Menzie, eh? Yeah, no. You know, his songwriting abilities and his deliveries, there's something in his voice, everything about it, he's got it going for him, man. Good luck in your career. You got the stamp of approval from us.
Awesome.
Yes, come back for 39 days.
I would love to.
Now I'm coming home to be welcomed in with open arms and rest my worried mind and solace you provide. Memories on the walls as I wander through familiar halls. There's no need to speak when you see right through me. So I drift right through the night when I'm hit by the morning light. Everything comes into view. All the roads lead back to you. So I look to the rising sun and head back where I come from. Full of fear and greed. You show me my release. Led me to the stream, and as it washes over me, I am lost in dreams. Drowning in the disbelief of anything that can't be seen. Look beyond the world, you know, to the magic and miracles. But I've looked upon those ancient scripts, and they all just seem to break and bend when you pull them thread by thread. So I let the river pull me on and found everything I need in love. And as the water starts to rest, I can fall back and close my eyes. 'Cause now that I've opened up, I'm waiting on the flood. Full of fear and greed. You show me my release. Led me to the stream, and as it washes over me, I am lost in dreams.
Thank you. Has anybody ever been to Australia in here? Yeah? You liked it, I guess. From for years, mate. Whoa. Well, I've only ever gone the once, and I was there for a couple of weeks, which was kind of tough because like I just started to get really adjusted to the time, and then I had to go back, and then get readjusted all over again. But I have this really crippling fear of spiders. And so, especially, well, not really the ones that are in Canada, but like dangerous spiders, you know, the ones that could really hurt you. But then I heard that nobody has died from a spider bite in Australia since like 1980 something, but that didn't really help much. But you know, when I was there, I said to myself, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the zoo in Sydney and go to the spider exhibit, just to try and get over my fear, which I knew wasn't going to work because I had already done like in exhibitions and other places where they had animal wranglers where they would let you like hold the tarantula in your hand and whatever. And I had done that and it didn't help. So I don't know why I thought this was going to help. But so I went there and it looked like a low budget witch's cave at like a carnival. And it's like a matte kind of paper mache looking cave structure. And there was no lights in there except for the light that was emanating from the little exhibits. And it was the first time in my life that I couldn't actually walk into a building. So I stood outside and I tried a bunch of times. And I had to wait until this nice family who must have been like a grandfather and his 2 grandchildren came. And I just walked in with them, and I joined their family for a little while. And so when you get in there, it's completely dark, except for you can see from the doorways, because it's really bright outside, but so you can see that there's cobwebs all over the ceiling. And I didn't know if they were if they were meant to be there, or if something had escaped. But then, so we get to the first exhibit, which is the bird-eating spider. We get there, and just to paint you a little more of a picture, I was wearing a T-shirt and shorts and a backpack, and the backpack straps ran kind of long down the sides. And so we lean in to look at the first exhibit, the bird-eating spider, me and this older gentleman. And as soon as I lean forward, the straps in my backpack just kind of graze right here on my arm. And I just freak out, and I jump up, and I make him jump up, and then I just bolt it out of there. And one more thing, as I was leaving, they have these motion sensors on the sides or on the ceiling or wherever, and they're connected to speakers that as soon as you walk past, it makes like a noise on the ceiling just to get you one last time before you walk out. And yeah, and then, oh God, Australians, right? They're a mean bunch. They like pranks down there. They do like pranks. But while I was there, I was kind of, I was there with my girlfriend for the first week, and then she flew back home, and I was there all alone, and I had this song idea rolling around in my head, but I had nothing to say, so I just kind of went down to the shore and watched the surfers and wrote this song called Wild.
Let me take you away, carried off by the waves. I see it in your face. I know you're longing to be safe. Let go of where you're from. all that you've overcome. Maybe it's in your blood, born to be closer to the sun. Onto a great unknown, leave all the rows and rows and rows of boring suburban homes, and break for a golden coast, and try hard to understand how we move hand in hand with what we don't comprehend, down to a single grain of sand. Well, through valleys and forests, leaving the lives we've built, all of it at our heels. Well, move with the ocean swell, and find it within ourselves, and finally take the helm. Let me take you away, carried off by the waves. I see it in your face. I know you're longing to be safe. Let go of where you're from, all that you've overcome. It might be that we belong beyond the horizon. Well, through valleys and forests, living the lives we've built, all of it at our ease. Well, move with the ocean swell, and find it within ourselves, to finally take the helm. You guys mind if I just tune my guitar really quick? Well, through valleys and foreign hills, living the lives we've built, all of it at our heels. Well, move with the ocean swell, and find it within ourselves, and finally take the helm. Thank you. The next song is called Surviving Just on Coffee. And Volume 2, because a little while back I put out a record that was kind of like acoustic remakes of songs that I had put out before. Just because, you know, I kind of felt like they still had some life left in them. And I had grown a lot as a musician in the time between those two records. And I thought that I could just do a better job. And I really liked the way that they turned out. And this one is a breakup song, actually. And I'm kind of hoping that it goes in like a Folgers commercial or something, or a Tim Hortons commercial. That's my goal. That's my goal for this song. guess that I ignored her, I ignored her, and I was not her kind. And I guess that she was right, but I slept alone that night, and every night since then as well. I guess I've hit a dry spell. Maybe that's a sign that I should change my ways, or I should change my mind. Die, just like the sun, leave it far behind me. Die, travel night, surviving just on coffee. Maybe she was right, I can't recall it all last night. All the things that I had done, I had completely come undone. Someone's gotta save me from the ship that set adrift upon the ocean. Looking at it now, I should have saved it somehow. When she said I was a loser, some laddie that boozer. But I know what I am, and there's no point in staying down or feeling broken. Just like the sun, leave it far behind me. Travel nights, surviving just on coffee. Surviving just on coffee. Surviving just on coffee. Thank you. So, last year, I was on a TV show. I was on a TV show called The Launch on CTV. You say you have a friend on there? Ah, cool. Yeah, it was a fun experience. It was really fun. I watched a lot of Seinfeld in my dressing room. That was probably the thing that I did the most while I was there. But I got to play for some really great people, including Scott Borchetta, who is Taylor Swift's manager, and Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue, and Dan Huff, who is this wicked producer who I was told, and I don't know if this is 100% true or not, but was the guitar player on Michael Jackson's Bad, that's what they told me. When I originally auditioned for the show, they asked for like a video of me playing a cover song. So I went to the Delta Hotel in Charlottetown, and I sat down at the grand piano there, and I played this song, which is A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. Yeah, it's true.
And I got the spot, so. But then I was cut from the broadcast. Because in the first season, they only aired 3 out of the 5, and I didn't make the final cut, like move on to actually record the song, so get out of here.
Skip the laughing dango, turn cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kinda seasick. The crowd called out for more, and the room was humming harder as the ceiling flew away. When they called out for another drink, the waiter brought a tray, and so the later is a meritorious tale. That her face at first just ghostly turned to whiter shade of pale.
So, when I played at Edmonton Folk Music Festival a little while back, and that "more" line came up, there was a guy, really drunk guy at the front that yelled, "More!" And I'm always just waiting for people to do it now, but nobody ever does.
She said there is no reason, and the truth is plain to see. Then I wander through my playing cards, and would not let her be one of 60 vessel virgins who were leaving for the coast. And though my eyes were open, they might just as well have been closed. And so then later is a meritorious tale. That her face at first just ghostly turned to whiter shade of pale.
Thank you. So this next song is about just like moving away from your phone and trying to connect as a human being to another human being. And it's called One Heart to Another. And I guess it doesn't really work for the people that are watching on YouTube right now. But or maybe they're the people that really need to hear it. "12 Strings." I wish I had some good jokes, but I don't. Did I start? I like playing 12-string when I'm doing solo shows, and mostly because like it's just got a nice, rich, full sound. And I also just I just like the sound of it too. Like it's just fun, but it's a pain in the ass to tune. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what the motivation was. I think originally I was writing songs like I just wanted a different guitar. I was writing songs on a 6-string guitar, and I was like, wow, this sounds great, but I'd like a different sound. And then I picked up a 12-string, and I'm like, oh, this sounds even more like what I want to hear from it.
Is this all meant to be? A rush of dopamine from a flashing screen, and the noise never stops. All the deadlines, calls, and ticking clocks. It's just what they want to turn you into something you're not. A slave to a company. No, we're not in chains, but we don't feel free. One heart to another, from one heart to another, one heart to another, from one heart to another. It's never over. You just pick yourself up and press on like a soldier. No, you're not alone. No one should carry the weight of the world on their shoulders and work so tough when I know you bleed like the rest of us. When it's too much, you can rest your head on someone you trust. One heart to another, just one heart to another, one heart to another, from one heart to another, one heart to another, just one heart to another, one heart to another, one heart to another.
favorite part. Thank you. Keep losing picks up here. Well, I'm going to play a song that I wrote back when I lived on a street called Heather Avenue in Charlottetown. And the guy that rented us this house rented a bungalow to 4 18-year-olds with no damage deposit and no lease. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. We turned it into a party house, and we had a party almost like definitely every weekend, most days. If it wasn't like a big party, it was at least like a couple people were coming over to drink. But I had one roommate who his name was Devin, and he hated the parties that we threw. And I can't blame him because some of them just got way out of control. Cops called, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you later. Devin just hated parties, so he would lock himself in his bedroom for the whole time. And I thought, wow, this is kind of an older song now. And at the time I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to write a song about how much Devin just loves to just party, and he's kind of the life of the party. And he hates this song, or he did. And he, for a while, he wouldn't let his mom listen to my music because of this song. And I thought that was really funny. And this is a song called Looking Back.
Headed downtown to see a show, $10 cover on Victoria Road. Had a few drinks with a couple of friends. Devin passed out on the pavement again. And they said they'll be singing, they'll be laughing, they'll be crying when I'm looking back. Got a little rowdy with a talk of the town. Never get sick of messing around. And when we get tired and we're feeling down, can count on Mickey for some sensual sounds. And they say they'll be singing, they'll be laughing, they'll be crying when I'm looking back. And they say they'll be singing, they'll be laughing, they'll be crying when I'm looking back. They'll be singing, they'll be laughing, they'll be crying when I'm looking back. When I'm looking back, when I'm looking back. Looking back, looking back, looking back, looking back, looking back.
Thank you. All right. I got a couple more for you. So this next song was featured in a Destination Canada commercial, and back when it came out, it got #1 on CBC Radio 2, which I think was pretty cool. It's a song called Kenya, and the weird thing about it being a Destination Canada commercial song is that it's called Kenya, and it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. And so yeah, the commercial is just filled with like, images of classic Canadian things that you would associate with Canada, and then just me saying Kenya, Kenya, Kenya over and over again in the background. It's very confusing. But I really owe a lot to this song, and I don't think I'd be here playing for you without it. And I get a lot of, support because of it, and I just love it. So I'm kind of getting sick of playing it though, because it's the only one. And I opened for Corb Lund one time, and he was telling me that song that he does with the Ford got stuck in the Chevy, got stuck. He's like, I have to wait until the end of the show to play that one, because he's like, I don't want people to leave. And I'm kind of feeling that same thing with this song in some shows. Not this show, because you guys don't know who I am anyway, but some shows.
That there is wisdom of the things that you've learned. Can you, 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 can you? They say you are what you eat, but I eat what I'm given. Guess that's why I'm just skin and bones. Reap what you sow in the world that we live in. Peck of nothing like a rolling stone. Can you, 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 can you? And you pull me in with your eyes. You call me back and then I'm hypnotized. It always seems to go your way. Well, I tell you not today. No, it's going my way. Well, the seasons change, but I'll weather the weather. Two peas in a pod, two birds of a feather. Home and winter takes the leaves from the trees. Let's flock together, my heart's on my sleeve. Thank you. So I think I got time for two more. Does that sound good? About the cop? Oh yeah, I meant later. I have a cousin. I'll just tell it really quick. I have a cousin. I mean, there was lots of times that the cops were called on that house, but I have a cousin. This was New Year's Eve, and it was about 11:15 or something. And his big party trick was that he would break a beer bottle over his own head. And yeah, so he tried, and this is like 11:15, and he tried, and it didn't work, and he almost sliced his ear completely off, and there was blood all over my floor, and I had to mop it up, and then the cops were called, and then but I gotta say though, that was one of my favorite parties because I always had such a hard time getting people out of the house, because my bedroom was in the basement, and I had no door, or like no walls or anything, so everybody would party in my bedroom basically, and yeah, that night everybody was gone by 11:30. It was great, instead of 6 or 7 in the morning. But yeah, like we didn't even get to say like Happy New Year. It was just all over. And the cops were called. His girlfriend went running down the street. It was a mess. But yeah, anyway, that house was a shithole. The next song that I'm going to play is called Fran's Song. And it's a song that I wrote for my aunt who passed away. And she was pretty amazing. She actually lived in BC. And for a long time, she took care of my grandmother who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
And if anybody's ever been affected by that in here, you know that near the end, you can't really do anything for yourself, let alone know who's taking care of you. And she took care of my grandmother for, what was it, 15 years? No, 10? Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I mean, in a really terrible state, you know. But anyway, so she took care of my grandmother, and then just after she died, my aunt was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and she died a little while later. And so I thought, like, if there's anybody in my family that really deserves a song, it's my Aunt Fran. And this is that song. There's a little Bob Marley sing-along part too, but we don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it's really fun. I'm going to be singing, so you can join in if you want, and if you don't. Remember when I called you friend? I want to go back then. I want to pretend. And now I believe in love is a crowd. I watched you leave and fell out of touch. And now you sleep, trapped in a picture, vague memories. Now that I treasure, and I hope you have peace, and I hope you have pleasure. Don't worry about me, I'm getting This is that sing-along part. And I know that you guys already know how to sing it because it's probably Bob Marley's biggest song. And unless you don't know Bob Marley at all. But I think you do. It goes like, singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. You wanna sing it, you can. Singing, don't worry. It's gonna be alright.
to go back then, and I want to pretend.
Thank you. So this is gonna be my last song, and I just want to thank you all for coming out and being here with me on this Thursday in my first show on Vancouver Island. Yep. And I want to thank John and Jim and not Gloria, Georgia. I knew it was a G, and I am so terrible with names. I'm sorry, Georgia. This is all recorded now, too, me saying all this. Anyway, but yeah, thank you so much for having me here. This has just been a blast. And this is my goodbye song. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do another goodbye song, one called Goodnight, Sweetheart. Can we get a hand for Jim on sound? Yeah, killing it.
I try to move the mountains, I try to part the sea, I turn the hold over, you come back to me. I know I make you happy, I know I have the key, I'd give you everything to carry out your fantasies. I hope the sun was shining when you walked on through, I hope the birds were singing beautiful songs for you, and all the bells were ringing, and all the people came. Words they require their when St. Peter called your name. Good night, sweetheart. I know it seems stark. Time to say goodbye, and that's the hard part. Good night, sweetheart. I know it seems stark. Time to say goodbye, and that's the hard part. You get where you're going when you close your eyes. I hope you think about me. I hope I'm on your mind. And when the light is fading, when the stars come out, I long to fill you with me in this empty house. I'll plant a symbol for you, and as I watch it grow, I'll drown in memories and think about our happy home. And when the trees are swaying, when I think of you, I feel you all around me. I hope you feel me too. Good night, sweetheart. I know it seems dark. Time to say goodbye, and that's the hard part. Good night, sweetheart. I know it seems dark. Time to say goodbye, and that's the hard part. Good night, sweetheart. I know it seems dark. Time to say goodbye, and that's the hard part. Good night, sweetheart. sweetheart. I know it seems stark, time to say goodbye, and that's the hard part. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night, safe drive or way home. And if you want to, I have a bunch of merch and other stuff over for sale. Most of it's $10, and yeah. And what we can talk more if you come over. All right. Thanks. Thank you.
Charlotte, I'm coming into town.